Oh, this is going to be just great. Hi.
I guess we should say Ramsey.
This is shaping up to be a dumpster fire right away.
I don't know.
I mean,
welcome again to It Doesn't Take a Genius, conversation with introspective perspectives and pithy points of view. Here are your hosts, my friends, Max and Marty.
I think that's Mark and Mike.
Yeah, whatever.
coming to you live from a hostage situation. That's what this makes me think.
Yeah. Send the FBI.
Blink twice. Right. It is recording, by the way. Yeah.
It's recording. Oh yeah. By the way, everybody loves a good dumpster fire.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Just think of 2020.
It keeps you warm.
Yeah.
Dumpster fires keep you warm. It's for the hobos. Anyway, cut that. That will not work, for our fan base. Not because they're hobos. Anyway, the point is,
Hobos of America Association are writing letters feverishly as we speak. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, here we are. So Mike and I we just happen to be in the same city at the same time, having an opportunity to even do a little work together.
Yes, something that we've been colleagues for 20 years, and just literally less than a handful of times we ever got to actually work together. So it was a fantastic day.
I think it is literally the first time we've facilitated something together, though.
Oh,
like I've watched you from the back of a room work with colleagues. I think maybe, was it years ago that we had the GM, the workshops? I can't remember what they were called, but
the regional workshops.
Yeah, maybe you and I overlapped on one of those. Anyway, the point is, this was a super rare occurrence in almost 20 years.
Oh yeah, you probably felt the tectonic shift. Just kind of put your hand on the ground. It feels different than it did before.
This is gonna be just great to see in post-production. Anyway, yeah, and we got to do that, and that was super fun. So 5 sessions back to back.
Yep, 5 90-minute sessions on coaching.
Part of the issue with all of these things, and I say this with love to my colleagues, to my clients, sometimes these things are mandatory attendance.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody was strongly encouraged by ownership to be there.
You don't have to hire me, but if your owner hires me, then you have to work with me. It's one of those scenarios, it's in coaching, we'd call it sponsored coaching, right? But this is facilitation. It's just like, okay, everybody come to this workshop. So long and the short of that is, you've possibly been in that scenario yourself. Maybe you have also been forced to attend a workshop. Yeah. I say forced with love, obviously.
I think they call it voluntold.
Voluntold. That's exactly right. So Mike and I have sat through 5 different groups coming in. They were all phenomenal.
Yes, phenomenal.
I without betraying anyone's confidence, I can just say they were really, really fun.
The level of engagement, participation, the willingness to be open to ideas, off the chart good, especially given the mandatory nature of the of the situation. And so you had people who showed up and maybe a little bit apprehensive, but as soon as their peers started to share, it just went amazingly well.
Yeah, and I think you didn't know I'm going to say this, but the outline for this episode, FYI, in case you can't figure it out, is rough. I mean, we are floating with an agenda that maybe was mentioned once while I was eating ramen noodles feverishly because I was starving, and here we are. But you didn't know I was going to say this, but Mike is kind of the reason that this all went the way it did today, because he's the lead on this one and is basically running the room. And Mike's very good at getting people to relax, have some fun, see the value that you could take this back with if you played with it a little bit, had some fun in the sandbox that the room is. So I think that's what happened today. But anyway, we came to some conclusions about, hey, if you're forced to attend one of these things,
Mhm.
there are some things you can do to really make sure you get the value out of your time that you didn't know you were going to be forced to spend away from your day job.
Oh, definitely.
So that's what I sort of wanted. That was a long preamble to what I want to talk about.
Well, no, and I appreciate that, and yeah. My motto is laugh while you learn, chuckle while you change. So
That's not your motto.
that's not my motto.
I've never heard you say that a day in your life.
First time I've ever said that, but it could be my motto. You let us know in the comments below. Bleep bleep the thingy, and let us know if that should be the new crest that we have.
Why not? Absolutely. I don't think it's going to fly. I have a feeling.
Nope.
Well, so let me just tell you something that I noticed, and maybe this will sort of help people. It's different every time we do it.
Mhm.
So yes, we cover the same key concepts. There's sort of a bullet list that you want to make sure, hey, these are the 5 things they need to take away.
Great.
And because Mike's really good, it's not a fire hose. It's really paced well, but here are the 5 things that we need to get to. But it's amazing. First session today, a lot of the folks wanted to talk about how you make sure that your coachees, the people you're coaching, feel safe.
Mhm.
And so a lot of the points that we were making revolved around making people feel safe. A few sessions later, it was all about, man, I just need to stop talking, let other people talk, and just be a listener. What was the phrase? Listen longer?
Yeah, listen longer. I need to listen longer.
Yeah.
One of the participants said it so incredibly well. We talked about a similar concept, being generous with your silence.
Yeah.
Can I give a gift of silence to somebody and allow them to step in and share what's going on?
Yeah. Just monster insights in terms of coaching, but in terms of just attending a workshop, guess what? Tell me if I'm wrong. I think that the reason that those things were different was because of the people who were willing to raise their hand and say, hey, here's the thing I noticed. And it turns out that person's different from the person who said that in the next session, whoever raised their hand in the next session.
Oh yeah. It was one of those things where, we've got some stuff to cover, but it was organically done that the class took it in its own direction.
Yeah.
And as often as you see in these things, one person says something, it strikes a note with somebody else, and then they build upon that.
Yeah.
It's kind of the improv idea of yes and so one person would say something and somebody would go, yeah, and now it's navigating through the parts that are truly important to the people, because people only share the parts that address the pain that they have. And so we talked about stuff in workshop 1. This was actually workshop 2, and people, the part that they hang on to is, okay, this addresses the pain, this addresses a need that I have, and this is the most important thing in the whole workshop. And so everybody's pains and needs are different, so all of a sudden they're gravitating towards different things.
Yeah, definitely some themes throughout the day, but just the people who were willing to share and bring up those points were the ones that sort of carried the room in a different direction. And we're facilitators. Facilitation means to make easy. So we're trying to make it easy for them to navigate to that piece that they need to latch onto and say, that resonated with me. Now what do I do with it? And so that's what happened in the room.
Yeah. People saw the practical application and the whole, the pure part of it, where, it's, the facilitator's talking about it. The owner gave a wonderful testimonial. But to hear your peers, people who are doing exactly what you're doing in this day and age with these types of folks in this economy and in this climate, invaluable. And so, that's the part where you get the affirmation that, okay, I thought that was important. My peers think it's important. Okay, that's validated. I'm going to keep working on this.
Yeah. So, Mike, anything that was big to you that would be sort of a tip? I think for me, it's contribute. Come to the room ready to contribute about the thing that's important to you, because you will take the room in a direction that it needs to go. Anything you'd throw into that?
Well, I think a couple of things. One is that as far as facilitation goes, everything that was contributed, we were grateful for. Everything anybody brought up, we were like, that was awesome. Appreciate that. We see how that, and
Genuinely grateful.
yeah, it was good
helped.
stuff. But we acknowledge each contribution, because we know how scary it is for people to share.
Yeah.
And so, some people are really apprehensive about that, but not, we did 5 sessions, 100 people, and not a single person's idea was not met with some affirmation of thank you for sharing, and that was good, and appreciate that, and I see how that ties to this, and
right.
and so I think, know that if you see that you're in a safe space like that, by all means, participate, because
take advantage.
Yeah, the best learning does not come from the front of the room. It's not the sage on the stage. Yeah. It's the peer sharing that goes on. Yeah. I think the most important thing that most of our viewers, both of them, would like to know is the thing goes faster if you share.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the participants talk, the session goes much faster. Who knows? Could end early, by a few minutes. Yep. If you're quiet and you think, all right, if we're quiet and nobody talks, this will go faster. No. What happens is some person like me who can talk about any topic at any point in time, at any length, fills in the gaps that you're not contributing with their stories, with my stories. Yep. And so now it's going to take, be good stuff, but it's going to take as much time as allotted, and it's not going to be as good as if the peers shared.
That's the thing. Back to your earlier point, the fact that you're sharing, great, but when they're sharing with each other, mm-hmm. It goes faster. It's more powerful. It's probably more relevant, frankly, if possible, because it's something local to them. Mm-hmm. So this has been the case in literally every project I've ever been in, that we, people like us say, would you please just give space in the schedule for them to talk, not mm-hmm. for us to talk, but for them to talk with each other. Mm-hmm. And that's super powerful. So if you can take advantage of that in between sessions, if they're not going to allow you to do it during the session, but hopefully you have facilitators who get the idea of, letting people, go into breakouts of some kind and really learn from each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All the times we've done this the last 20 years, we've never had a survey where somebody, on the workshop where they said, it would have been nice if we'd had more time to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Every single time. It's the most valuable part of this.
Yep.
And so, sometimes you have to carve out that time during the breaks, and if there's a lunch and that type of thing. And if the facilitator says, hey, let's have a moment and you guys share what's going on, that's it. Take advantage of that. That space has been created for you to share. And while it may not be as comfortable as sharing one-on-one in the hallway, it's definitely the opportunity to hear from your peers and get the good stuff.
Yeah. There's a quote attributed to Plato where he talks about he's not worried about fancy book learning. He says, people can write books about my material. I'm hearing people are doing that, but the real magic happens when something goes sparks from my soul to your soul and lights a flame. And so that's what's happening in the room, even when it's not us, right? It's the people in the room sparking flames with each other. I think that's what's just magic about a good workshop.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you're exactly right. I think the last takeaway is whether the facilitator asks it or not, is to think about what's the big takeaway.
Yeah.
What's that one thing for you that you thought, man, that hit home. That's something that I need to do something with. And whether you put it in your phone or you make a note or you create a Post-it, I don't care. But whatever your system is for reminding yourself about good stuff, capture that. There may have been 1,000 good things, but what's the one thing that you're going to take action on? You start to work on that, and then at some point you review your notes again later and you find another 10 things that you want to do. But the time will be immensely valuable if you leave and you do something with what's been offered.
And you're sort of saying one at a time, pick that one thing.
Oh yeah. You see people like here's the 11 things I'm going to do when I get back, and it's like, you're not going to do any of those. It's too much. It's too confusing. It's too hard to focus.
Yeah.
So what's that one big takeaway? Make a note of it, tackle it, and then you're off and running.
Perfect. Well, I'm holding my head here at an angle so that I can prevent the glare
From my
that.
head?
No, your head looks great. Although
Yeah, it's glowing now. Check it out.
highlight for anybody listening who knows Mike, I need to share this with you. Mike you used to introduce yourself saying I'm the guy that looks like the love child of Barney Fife and James Carville.
Yep.
And a gentleman who I knew in the workshop pulled me over and he said, hey, what's the name of that guy that worked for Clinton? I said, oh, hold on a moment. Let me summon Mike Marshall over so that you can repeat that in his ear. Oh, it was a great day for me.
Oh, yeah.
Just a great day.
Yeah, because James Carville, his nickname is Snakehead.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they call him Snakehead. And everybody thinks I look just like him, including his wife, who I met and said, you look just like James. I'm like, oh, that is not good. So those of you who had that misconception that I'm getting by on my looks this whole time, let me dispel that myth right here, right now. Not happening.
I have a Facebook album of photos of all the celebrities that people have said I look like.
Oh yeah, you got it made. Yeah, they're like, oh. Look, Dale Earnhardt just walked in.
I don't know that Dale Earnhardt Jr. is like, is he like, he's not a looker, is he? I mean, I'm sure he's wealthy and a great young man.
Yeah, people love him.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I want to have a face that people go, I love that guy.
Hey, people love James Carville.
No, nobody loves James Carville.
Okay. On that note, this is gonna go south really fast. So hey, it's been great. Mike, I need you to get out of my room so I can put on PJs and edit this video.
I will quickly exit the room immediately as fast as I can. It's all the encouragement I needed.
Okay, Mr. John Wolf, take us home.
And that, I guess, is that. It doesn't take a genius. No rights reserved, nothing trademarked, copyrighted, or even original. Feel free to give it to anyone, anytime, using any and all media formats. Warning, Mark and Mike may or may not make another one. I'm your announcer, and I did not get paid a nickel to do this. They won't even let me tell you my name. So until next time, if there is a next time, stay safe, be well.
That's good enough.